Today we're going to be beginning a new project in Premiere. I've opened up Premiere. I can either be in the home screen where I can choose a project or start a new project, or the learn screen so I can actually maybe learn a tutorial, follow a tutorial, or learn a new technique here in Premiere. So I'm going to start a new project. This is really important that you are putting, I have a folder called demo on my desktop, so I want to make sure that the new thing that I'm creating is going to go into that folder as well. You can give it a name now. This will become the name of your project. And I'm going to leave everything else alone. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Oh, yep, I'm replacing it. Okay, so it's going to open up here. Okay, so there's several different ways that you can view your screen, right? If you go to Window and under Workspaces, you've got several different workspaces to choose from. I prefer the editing just because I like the way that it's laid out, but if you go to All Panels, you can blow them all up. All Panels will give you all of these options along the top half. I think the panels that we're going to be using the most, the workspace that I'm in, the editing, is the best one to be in. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import my files. So I'm going to go File, Import. I'm going to find the two videos that I'm importing, and I'm importing them into my project. So they're going to go into my project files down here on the left here. You can see that I've got my project files panel, and you see I can make them bigger and smaller and make more room around. Now, the first video that I pull in is really important because it's going to determine the entire size of the rest of the video that we're making. So I want to make sure it's a high resolution. If I want my video to be landscape, it should be a landscape version, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that in and drop it onto my timeline. When I drop it into my timeline, you can see that it activates a bunch of things in here. I've got 3 audio tracks and 3 video tracks. This particular video has no audio. My other video, if I click on it and drag it in, you'll see that it does have audio. So this entire track, I'm going to mute this entire track because I'm going to have some other music there. The other thing you can do is you can click on the video track. Let me unmute it. You can click on the video track, hold Control, and this brings up all your different editing options, and I can unlink them. Mine are already unlinked. You can unlink the sound from the video, and then that way you can take that sound and you can throw it away. I just hit delete on the keyboard. Okay, so the scrubber is showing me time that's passing in my video. The color of this bar right here is, how quickly it's rendering. Is it rendering more quickly or more slowly? Red would be very slow. Green is at time. You might want to have it run through a time or two to see if you can kind of get it to catch up. Other things, down here at the bottom, you've got your zoom in, right? So now I'm zooming out. Here's me zooming in, right? I can zoom all the way down into the frame if I like. I can also zoom into the different panels here. If you see, I can kind of zoom in there so I can see the different images, kind of representative of what is on that video clip. Okay, so other things that I'm doing in here, right, is you've got some different tools right here. I can add text, I can move things around, I can create a mask with my pen tool, but the one I want to go to right here is the razor tool because I feel like you're going to be using this one the most often. Let's say I wanted to cut the video right here. I would take that razor tool, I would come into my video clip, and I would just kind of click, and that cuts that clip into 2 pieces. I can remove the piece and put it further on down the line. I can delete the piece, right? I'm going to go ahead and hit delete on the keyboard. I can change it. Maybe I want to change the color of it so that the videos are going to change by playing around with let's go up into here. Let's go into the video effects, right? Maybe I want to try I want to lighten it up, or I want to distort it. I want to do some crazy stuff to it. So anything that you want to do, you're going to take any of those. Let's do one that we can see happen right here. How about a color correction? Let's do a brightness and contrast. Let's say I took this and I'm going to go drop it on this video clip right here. You can see, oh, that didn't work. Let me do that again. When I do drop it, you'll notice that the FX kind of colors up, right? The FX colors up there. If I double click on the FX, that will bring up my editing controls, right? Now I can go up here and this is where my effect controls panel is. And if I actually do want to affect the brightness per se, here's me brightening up that video clip. So you can have, the clip, the cuts that you put in there, the razors that you change, you can put different color effects on there, things like that. Let's go, I'm going to go to this video right here. Because you notice that this video does not fit the screen, right? So here I clicked on this video, I moved my scrubber onto it, I can see it. I'm moving over to my effect controls. Here is the scale of the video. So I want to scale that up so that it fits the entire screen there. So I know that it fits the entire screen. And if I zoom out with my video, right, if I kind of let me go in here and let me zoom out a little bit, then I want to be able to see more of the screen there. Let's have it fit. So now, yes, now the video does actually fill the screen and then some. I can even go down a little bit. So that's a little much. It's a little intense, right? That's a little intense. Now, while your video is trying to render, things might be a little bit glitchy. Things might be a little bit weird. A lot of times you might just need to let it run through once or twice so that it can kind of catch up. Okay, other things I can add, include, or do here, right? Let's say I wanted to have a transition between these two videos here. So I'm going to go over to my effects here, and I'm going to go into video transitions. These are all different things that you can put in between the videos as they're transitioning, right? So one of my favorites is the cross dissolve or the dip to black. If I take that and I drop it right on between my two video clips, you'll notice that as my video clips kind of play through, they will fade one into the other, right? So that is a transition. If I want to edit that transition, I can click on it, and then in the effect controls, I can make any changes to it. How long do I want the transition to occur? All right, other things that I can add just as we're getting started here, let me kind of minimize this here. Let's say I wanted to put some text in here. I wanted to put a title of some sort, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on Essential Graphics. Essential Graphics are, think of them as title pieces, right? I could do title. I can come in here and I can search for titles, and I can search for other things. And if I see something I like, I just take it, drop it right there on one of the video layers, right? One of the video timelines. So as I play it through, you see how you can see my text in there. If I pause it, right, so I can see the text, then I can go in and I can edit the text. If I double click on it, if I double click on it, make sure I'm actually clicking on it. It's a little bit slow. Come on, let's. Okay, to edit the text, I'm going to double click on it. If you look up here, right, I got different text here. I can change what the text says. If I double click that on up there, so I could say my video. See how it's kind of adding it up there. If I wanted to change, here's my fill color. I can change it to be whatever color I want. Oops, let's make it a deep green. Okay, the text should change to deep green once it kind of catches up to me here. I could put different strokes and shadows and all kinds of different effects and things on it. Actually, I think it happened to the second bit of it, not my text up here. Let's go back and highlight that. All right, so let's see if I change the color of the text here. There we go. Now the text is changing. I could put different effects on it. Be sure to edit your text if you need to, right? Here's me changing the font. I can change the size. There's so many different things that I can experiment with. Now, there are already some animation things happening in the text. So now that notice how kind of glitchy it is. Now that you've used After Effects, I'm going to go ahead and pull out over here, and you notice that there's the time watches here, right? I can add here's keyframes, right? I can add keyframes. I can change keyframes. I can look to see where the animation is happening, right? If I wanted to like let's isolate. I'm going to double click on my graphic there, and then I can come in here. Here's the text, right? And then here's my keyframes if I needed to change them or edit them or add more or kind of change the way it looks. I have any capabilities in there. I can go in there and change any of those things. Okay, so that's kind of getting started in Premiere with the worst video I've ever made, but hopefully that helps you out a little bit, and I'll make it again.